Let's hopefully we've got through these technical issues. Come on, work with me please, stream. Work with me. There we go, thank you. My fellow admin told me I have a voice, I can be heard. This should be interesting because I've got to go through everything again. Alright, let's go and start the race. I'm so sorry about this. This is a terrible way to start the year. Happy days. Let's go. So we'll do the intro again. So this is Speed Force Racing, usually a better stream than this. This is round 12 after our Christmas break. So we'll go through the tables again. Since the last round, it is the lead of 161 for Techno Thriller. 133 points is Humbug. Lee Nell is on 126. Huge gap then to Chopper on 72 points and Fletcher Boy on 54 points. In the constructors, we've got Toro Rosso on 170. Williams also on 170, which is quite interesting. Haas on 161, so only 9 points behind the two leading teams. So pretty good. Sauber on 159, so it's very close, top 4 teams, which is quite exciting for us, especially as admin in the league, because it gives us something to look forward to for the rest of the season. And then you've got Ferrari in 5th place on the constructors, currently on 87 points. So, news. We've got the Classic C. Well, it's a mini series starting tomorrow, so there's some spots. Go to www.facebook.com/Speed Force Racing PS4. Give us a message if you want to do it. It's 25% racing, classic cars. Should be a good event. Quite a lot of interest in it. Just a couple more spots, and we should have a full grid for it. Packed grid today. Got a lot of talented drivers through the grid, which should be interesting. Now the 100% race was won by Humbug in great fashion on a one-stop strategy as well. Will he be able to convert that now to half race distance, 50%? Could be interesting, depends what the weather's going to be like. As if you saw the 100% stream, it was rain, dry, rain, dry, rain. No driver could actually get a clear picture of what they wanted to do. So we'll see for the pictures to load up. Hopefully we get a dry qualifying. Let's just see, we've got the classic blank screen as we wait for a few drivers to select. Go, and it should be their tyre choice. Oh, there we go. We've got a dry quali, which is absolutely brilliant. So we will set the little bits of data we need for the stream. And so we will wait. So everyone in the pits, currently everyone's on the Ultra Softs, but you never know, you may get a couple of drivers that want to maybe try out maybe the Super Softs or even the Softs, just get a feel of the track. Apparently we're going to have a wet race, so it's going to be interesting. Will people be setting up their cars for the wet race, or will they be going for the dry quali to try and get as high up as possible? Because with a wet race, it kind of opens up everything, which is it's quite brilliant, but then, you know, too much of a good thing sometimes is a bad thing. We'll go on board. We're on board with the Red Bull of DSX, so he's on the Ultra Soft tyres, which will probably be a tyre of choice for most of the field. So, quite a long track, over 7k in length. You've got Kemmel Straight, which is an amazing straight, especially if you've got DRS behind the car in front of you during the race. That should be very helpful. 20 turns, and 20 turns over to be a hero or a zero. Hopefully we'll have quite a few heroes coming out of turn 1. Lap 1 is always tricky. We are not using the safety car option just because there's so many bugs with it. We were using it for a few races in the season as voted by drivers, but it got to a point where it was becoming silly with the amount of times the safety car come out, especially the VSC, which was quite annoying. So we've got CBO Land, DSX, Gamey Things, Blood and Sand, Techno Thriller, guys, it's Mudkip, BDS, Jade Rios, Uzi, Lee Nell, Fletcher Boy, Coming to Get You, Humbug, Racing Podge, Decadent, Lord JB, For Snipe's Sake, Chopper, TJ Honest, S Graham and Smelly Badger all in the race there. Full grid, which is brilliant to see. And hopefully a good race to follow. But as we're in qualifying, we'll have a look. Gonna jump on board with CBO Land. Got a funny feeling this driver will will get maybe top 2 in qualifying. A very fast driver, as you'll have seen from the Australia results page. He did set some good pace. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2 at the moment, and maybe some cars just slowing down a bit to allow a fast car through, so we will ignore that for the moment. Gaming Things on the Supersoft tyres currently in the pit, so we might be going out for an exploration lap. Should be good. Let's see. So we are coming past. Let's get the track map up. That will help me no ends. So should have Peter join us. Maybe end of qualifying a little bit into the race. My co-commentator is currently busy at the moment. Every other week he is free, so it's always good to have him in the chat lobby with us. CBO Land there is starting at his flying lap on the ultra soft tyres, so he's going to hope for a brilliant result in the McLaren Honda All Car set to equal performance, as we want a fairest fight as possible. It comes down to driver skill. So he is going to go, hopefully, flat out up Eau Rouge. It would be good. He takes a bit curve going into the middle of the corner, which is brilliant. He's going to get enough speed down the Kemmel Straight DRS wide open, so he has got to just keep it nice and steady going down. You don't want to keep moving about on the straight. It's going to scrub a bit of speed off you. Looks like he's doing a good lap there. Currently a quickest sector 1 time, which is positive for him. He's got to keep it going now into this second sector. So CBO Land is reserving. Hopefully, maybe down the line there could be a race seat for him. A decent driver. He's going to try and put his feelers out to see what he can do in this race. He's got quite a lot of quality opponents. He's got the Source. No disrespect to the other drivers, but you've got Techno Thriller, Lee Nell, Fletcher Boy coming to get you, Humbug, Decadent, Lord JB as well. All drivers that have great pace in qualifying, but most of the drivers have great race pace, and that is a positive thing to have, especially if you've got a wet race coming up. It will be an exciting start, I could say that. We do have formation laps, so that's on, and it should give the drivers a little insight into what track conditions are like when the race starts. But we got currently on provisional pole with a 146.895. That is for snipe's sake 46. And here we go. CBO Land coming into the bus stop chicane. Takes a lot of curb on entry. Let's see how he is on exit. Not too much of a bit of a slide there. Not too much though. CBO Land gets a 146.477. 4/10 of a second quicker than for snipe's sake. Guys, it's Mudkip, 2.9 seconds away from the fastest time. TJ Honest there, setting time for 4th. Blood and Sands currently second. Racing Podge provisional pole at the moment, 1:45.688. What a great lap time from him. We will go on board with, I think we'll go on board with Coming to Get You. And let's see what this driver's doing. This driver extremely experienced. As Fletcher Boy with a 1:45.475. Great lap time. I expect him to go a little bit quicker, maybe breaking into the 1:44. Very high 1:44 should be a possibility. The bus stop chicane coming to get you. It's his second race for the league. He sets a lap time at 1:44.894. Provisional part moment. Cracking lap already into the 1:44s. Track looks like it is getting faster and faster. Let's see who can react to that. We will go on board with Uzi in the McLaren Honda. Currently his teammate is not in, and that's why CBO Land is reserving for him. So let's see if he can get up further up the grid as his reserve teammate has done. So it's quite interesting. Techno Thriller 4/10 of a second behind Coming to Get You, but could they have a bit more pacing? I think so. You know, I really do. I think these cars, these drivers have got a bit more to them, a little bit more of an edge. After the first half of the season, they found out about their opponent's strengths, weaknesses. They've had a 4-week break. Maybe it's time that they evaluated it and maybe set out a plan for the second half of the season, which will be good. So we'll go with Coming to Get You, is currently provisional pole. There's 5 minutes of session left. Techno Thriller 4/10 of a second behind him, 5/10 of a second, and only a tenth between himself and Techno is Fletcher Boy in the Williams. Williams looking to have a good result this weekend to try and gain the lead in the constructors standings. And we got JDS disqualified from this session. Not too much of a big deal, but she should start on her choice of tyre. But if it's going to be a wet race, it is null and void. So we will go and see we'll go on board with Lee now. He's coming into the pits, so he's going to have to have a quick turnaround now, get these tyres off, get some new tyres on, because it's going to be very tight, because it is a long track. On an in lap or an out lap, it could take about 2 minutes 10 seconds to get round without taking too much of your tyres. Techno Thriller has retired from the session. He thinks provisional third place is good enough for him, but we've got the drivers like Humbug, Racing Podge, Blood and Sand. Lee now will be itching and trying to get further up the grid, because that's what they want to do. Coming to get you is in the pits now. Fletcher Boy should be coming in the pits, or is he going for a new lap? We'll wait to see. He's got 4 minutes left. If we can get in the pits before 3 minutes, get a quick fresh set of tyres on, he should have enough time on his out lap to get round to set a fast lap. Decadent, what a lap. 2 tenths of a second behind coming to get you. He's shown some real pace. He come into the league about 3 races ago. He won on his first race with the league. Then kind of got stuck in the midfield in the next couple of races to follow. So maybe this is a marker sitting down to the rest of the field. You know, yeah, I won the first race, had a few dodgy couple of races, but I think I can get myself back into the title picture, which will be brilliant. I'm also looking for Humbug to try and improve on his position. He's currently provisional 5th. Who's outside the top 10? We've got S. Graham, for Snipe's sake, Smelly Badger, TJ Honest Guys, Mudkip did SX, who's retired from the session, Uzi, Lord JB, Chopper and BDSJ. The rest who got disqualified from the session. They're outside the top 10. Inside the top 10 is very, very competitive, with the top 6 all within a second of the leader, and we will get the second bite of the cherry from the top guys, who will be putting new tyres on and hopefully get out in time to set their all-important lap. So we'll go on board the reserve driver CBO Land. So Curtis in the McLaren Honda, his teammate currently in provisional 16th position. He's going to try and give it his best shot at trying to get into the provisional top 3. He's got the speed about him, he's got the skills as well. He's a wheel user, so a lot of people say it's the best way to go, using a wheel. Kind of agree with him. I'm a pad user myself. We'll be switching to the wheel, hopefully. Won't be too horrendous at it, but you never know. So Lee now on the ultra softs, is on his out lap at the moment. A lot of drivers in the pits. There's 2 minutes 10 seconds to go. We have to get these drivers out. They have to start leaving the pit now. Humbug on coming out of the pits as well. We've got CBO Land in McLaren Honda coming into the bus stop chicane on exit. Let's see if he goes perfect exit. No slip, no nothing. DRS wide open now as he starts his flying lap, his last flying lap of the qualifying session as he goes into turn 1. Let's see how he gets this. Nice touch of the apex there. Brilliant. Now here we go. Long run to Eau Rouge. Let's see if he will be flat out here, or will he lift a little bit. He's flat. Oh, nicely done there, nicely handled. Racing Pod retires from the session. That could be a little crash, since yellow flags are in sector 3. Up the Camel Straight goes CBO Land. Coming to get you is on his out lap, as is Fletcher Boy. Decadent is in the pits. He will not get out for another lap. So we'll go back on CBO Land. Let's see what he can do. He's in his second sector at the moment. This is the sector where you need a little bit more downforce with all the corners. Sector 1, Sector 3 are okay for the cars running a lower downforce, but with rain expected in the race, will that change people's thoughts going into the race with the way they set their cars up? No one will know until the race. So outlap of Fletcher Boy and coming to get you. We'll stick on board with CBO Land as he finishes the last part of his lap. He's in coming up to the end of Sector 2, and his Sector 2 time currently is a 30.475, so great little time there. Let's see if he can get into the top 10. He should be aiming for that, personally, because the driver has got so much speed inside and so much talent as well, talented driver. So let's see what he can do. He's going on the run up to the bus stop chicane. Got to make sure he doesn't lock up on entry. He doesn't lock up at all. Takes a nice bit of curb there, as well. Brilliant. A little bit out wide there. It's going to cost him a couple of attempts a second. Let's see what he can do. He goes nowhere. He stays 9th. That is a shocker. So we will go. Fletcher Boy is coming round. He does a 1:44.959. It's not great for him. Maybe I expected maybe a little bit more pace from Fletcher Boy, but come on, second is not bad. Coming to get you looks like he's got his pole position now of 1:44.894 as we wait for the rest of the drivers. Look at that, Lord JB, what a lap. Brilliant lap from him, third position. And if he keeps that provisional third place, that'd be a great position to start the grid on. Decadent fourth position. Chopper is not too far off the pace either. Humbug, Lee now, Racing Podge. So top 9 within a second of coming to get you. That is very competitive, and that should be quite a great little session coming up in the race. So what a brilliant performance from Lord JB. And if I gave driver of the day for qualifying, he would get it. What a superb performance there. He will be chuffed with that. You know, we both agree, me and Lord JB, that maybe his quali pace ain't the strongest sometimes, but his race pace is killer. And starting third position, that would be brilliant for him. Absolutely brilliant. So we are waiting for the session to end. No one else is setting lap times out there. We've got Lord JB coming around again. He won't improve on his lap time, I don't think, because it's a cracking job that he's done so far. He doesn't improve there. That'd be tyres are too old, but he just completes lap because you never know. So it's really interesting. Really interesting quali, which is good. Coming to get you, getting pole position again. Amazing job, but Lord JB, brilliant job by him. Absolutely fantastic job. So we've got coming to get you on pole position with a 1:44.570 on the Ultrasoft. Fletcher Boy second, Lord JB third, Decadent fourth, Chopper fifth, sixth Techno, Thriller seventh is Humbug, Lee Nell is eighth, Racing Podge ninth, CBO Land is 10th, TJ Arness 11th, Blood and Sand is 12th, Gaming Things 13th, Escrow 14th, Snipe Steak 15th, Smelly Badger 16th, Uzi 17th, 18th is Guys It's Mudkip, 19th Did SX, and Jadarius is in 20th after being disqualified. I'd like to welcome Peter, who's joined me in the comms box. Great timing as well for the start of the race. How are you doing, Peter?
Good evening, buddy. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, mate. How was your evening? Did you do well in your race?
Yeah, I would say yes, definitely. I came second.
Oh, brilliant. Well done to you. There we go. Former Speed Force Racing driver doing well in another league. That's what we like to see. Wet race, Peter. Do you expect many issues?
Yeah, definitely, but not for Humbug.
That's true. He's a wet weather specialist. Got third position was Lord JB, which is quite a strong qualifying performance for him, because usually he's about 8th, 7th in dry weather, but third place, that's quite a good result for him in qualifying, do you reckon?
Yeah, definitely. Third place is very good at every qualifying, so good job for him.
Coming to get you got pole position. That's, I suppose, expected a quality driver, but only 600ths of a second behind him was Fletcher Boy, so it should be a close race.
Yes, and will we have any sort of dry race in this race, or it's going to be full wet?
Apparently it's going to be a wet race throughout, but with the cars on the inters, there's always that chance of the track drying up, which would be good.
Yeah.
I'll let you on the Constructors' Championship at the moment. So you got Toro Rosso and Williams both tied in first place with 170 points. Haas 161 points, Sauber 159 points. So it's very close in the Constructors. Who do you see gaining the outright lead in the Constructors come the end of this race?
Definitely, I would say Williams.
Okay,
you
yeah.
can see Fletcher Boy is right up there.
Yeah, and Lee now in
8th. Yes, so he can turn it to a victory.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. They've got a great driver lineup, but also with Haas coming to get you joining the team, that should boost the team points, especially with him currently. Well, he'll start the race in pole position, which is good for him.
Yeah, and we are used to see Techno Thriller down in the order a little bit, not too much, but I think he's more of a race specialist rather than a qualifying specialist.
I got you, yeah. So he's got stronger race pace. Quite a few drivers have got the stronger the race pace. Do you think, can you have a bad qualifying and then race pace will get you out of trouble, or do you need to have a little bit of both?
Definitely, if you remember, Lewis Hamilton a few times started from the pit lane or from last place, and he got back up to the podium. So definitely you can have a good race, but you need a very good setup. And if you screw up your qualifying and you have a good setup, then why not? You can have a good race, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you. So we are waiting for the cars. Well, the rest of them, should we say, because most of them didn't do the formation lap. We'll wait for the grid to line up to start round 12 of Speed Force Racing here at Spa. So hopefully we get a good turn one, because drivers got to remember you can't win the race in turn one, you can only lose it. And with the conditions like this, should be quite an intense start. So as we wait for the drivers to get all lined up on the grid and press ready to race.
So who do you see taking the early advantage of this race? Fletcher Boy, Fletcher Boy, Lord JB, or Coming to Get You from the first three?
I've got a funny feeling Lord JB might sneak it up. We're just waiting for Smelly Badger at the moment. I've got a funny feeling the lobby may have an issue.
Maybe.
Oh no.
Okay, so here's the session. So we're starting.
Okay, so 5 lights and a long day. We're off. Here we go. So we got Coming to Get You, who's got a good start off the line. Fletcher Boy and Lord JB also getting an equally good start, so it should be good. Let's go into turn one.
Oh, Decadent, I think, ran into the back of Fletcher Boy, that forced him run wide a bit.
Oh, Fletcher Boy is the the biggest loser there, 5th place at the moment, so he's gone down 3 positions. You've got Lord JB gaining on that with a 2nd position currently.
Humbug retired, and Fletcher Boy as well. What happened? Oh, they're in the wall, both of them.
Oh, that is a shame. Eau Rouge has taken 2 victims there, and both of them doing good in the Drivers' Championship at the moment.
As well.
So there we go. The wet weather has taken the first 3 victims of the race. So we've got Racing Podge, Fletcher Boy and Humbug. All out. Eau Rouge is a mighty beast in the dry, let alone in the wet weather. So Lord JB is chasing down Coming to Get You, and he's gaining a couple of attempts here and there. Let's see if Coming to Get You can get his first lap under his belt and try and control the race to the best of his ability.
Yeah, I think he's using a controller, which makes it even harder to control on the wet, I think.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. With the wet weather on this game, the controller is extremely difficult to control. But it could just be me that's just terrible. I don't know. I wouldn't say no. So Coming to Get You's got 8 tenths of a second advantage over Lord JB. Lord JB must be licking his lips at this.
Yes, I think he deserves a podium for now.
Yeah, with his first race with racing with us, he got a podium, which was brilliant. He's gone a little bit too deep there into the bus stop chicane. He's still chasing down Coming to Get You. So we will go and look at CBO Land, the driver you know as well, Peter. He's in the reserve drive for Aspheric in the McLaren Honda. He's chasing down S. Graham. Thoughts on Curtis?
He's a very competitive driver. Yeah, he can be a little bit strong with you if you give him too much room, but I think he's fair enough.
Yeah, I agree. He can have an aggressive side.
Yeah, personally, I didn't have any problems or issues with him, so that's always a good sign for me.
Agreed, yeah. Coming to Get You has gained a massive 2.1 seconds over Lord JB in the space of about half a lap. So looks like the cars are struggling.
Oh, Techno almost lost it.
You got quite a lot of cars with the rooster tails, a lot of spray coming up, the tyres trying to get rid of it. We've got Lee now in the top 10. He needs to get higher than that, because with his teammate Fletcher Boy...
Yellow. Oh, someone has spun it. Yeah, it's for Snipe's sake.
We will go check out for Snipe's sake. Let's see how he's going. He's trying to recover now. He's in 15th position, out of the points at the moment. He's going to try his hardest to see if he can get further up the field. So 9/10 of a second, Lord JB has gained on Coming to Get You. Lord JB in the Force India, chasing down the Haas of Coming to Get You. Coming to Get You, an experienced race driver with plenty of skill, and Lord JB is showing him that he has the skill to match him as well. Techno Thriller is 3.6 seconds behind Coming to Get You, so a lot of work for him to catch up Lord JB in second position and then try and get back into the race. Do you see any drivers making a stop with the Inters in this race, or do you think most people can get through the race without stopping?
No, I think you will need at least a stop, or maybe two. I don't know which would be the better strategy, because I didn't have a race around Spa in the wet for a while, so I don't know if I would go for a one stop or a two stop, but or a no stop. You can do it.
Lee now is pitting. He's had contact with Gamey Things. Gamey Things getting a penalty from that, so Lee now will be furious with that. But track conditions as well are very wet, so it could be any simple explanation. I will wait for the after effects of the race to come clear in the chat, and if the stewards get any reports. We've got Chopper getting overtaken on the Kemmel Straight, first by S. Graham. He's got TJ Honest on the back of him, 3/10 of a second behind him. TJ Honest trying to have a little look up the inside. Chopper doing some great defensive driving there.
I'm looking at the Red Bull pit crew and they are double stacking, unfortunately.
That will cost them a hell of a lot of time, especially around this track. So we'll go on board with Gamey Things. He's chasing the Ferrari of Blood and Sand. He's a second behind him. He's going to try and... let's see if we can put the instant with Lee now behind him and just have a positive race from here.
Yeah, and he has front wing damage as well.
That would be from the contact with Lee now, because I think Lee now had to pit.
Yes. You're right. But for the first 3 laps, I think the conditions are pretty bad. They are tricky.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of spray coming off. It's not going to help the drivers that are very close, like TJ Honest. He's a half second behind Chopper. He looks like he's got speed on him as well. So he could be trying to make a move on the long run up to the bus stop chicane. Do you see the bus stop chicane as a potential passing spot?
Yes. It's a very good overtaking spot. So if you can get a good run out of Blanchimont, right into the bus stop chicane, and if you remember back in the day, the bus stop chicane was not turning to the right. It was
that's correct.
Turning to the left. So I don't know why they changed it up, but it's definitely interesting.
I agree. So TJ Honest is getting frustrated behind Chopper. We'll go on board with Chopper. He's got the Toro Rosso behind him. TJ Honest needs a good result as well, just to improve his points total in the driver standards. He wants to try and break into the top 5. Should be quite an interesting little race for Chopper, TJ Honest, S. Graham and Jade Rios. So Coming to Get You has got 3.8 seconds advantage over Lord JB. So this should be him now controlling his race pace.
Yeah, and I think Chopper has got a hell of a time. I believe he was up into P3, and I don't know how, but he lost a lot of time. And just a quick fact, I didn't wrote up everything, but I remember that Techno Thriller has a 5-second penalty for himself. Oh, and he almost lost it. No, he's in the wall.
Oh, he's got a bit of damage.
The championship leader.
That's going to cost him bad. His CBO Lando's got passed into 3rd position. Currently, Techno Thriller is struggling. He's got a bit of front wing damage. He's going to have to pit. We got Decadent, who's pitted twice already, so he's finding it tough. After a good qualifying performance, he's finding it very tough in these conditions. Do you see these conditions maybe warranting the wet tyres? Because Coming to Get You is lapping at 2 minutes 2, which is still pretty fast.
Yeah, it's pretty fast, but I think the Inters are good.
And
And
we've got
Uzi's out of the Grand Prix. What
Uzi's.
happened?
Oh,
That's
he's lost his front left tyre.
I don't know what happened here. I guess he lost it out of Puan.
The
Just
weather
like-
looks
just
like it's getting
exactly.
worse. The weather it's got to be affecting the drivers at the moment.
Yeah, it might be time to come in and change for wets.
On board with coming down the Kemmel Straight, CBO Land gets a 3-second time penalty. That will be for corner cutting, very strict around this track. So coming to get it should be controlling his pace, which is a benefit for him because he then can control his tyre wear and hopefully get away with as little stops as possible.
Do you see him mount a challenge for the world title this season?
I think if he can put a few good performances as he is now, I think he should do very well
'Cause I believe
indeed.
it's only round 12. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's round 12.
It is round 12, yes.
So then we will have 8 more races, and if he can score like 200 points, then bang, he's in the championship fight.
Especially with drivers not doing so well, with Techno Thriller struggling, with
Yes, and
nose damage. Races like this can throw the title picture wide open.
definitely, but unfortunately Fletcher and Humbug has lost it, so they won't score any points today.
Which is a massive disappointment for him because I know both drivers were looking forward to this especially after the 100% race. But just a bad day at the office for them guys, which is unfortunate, but we've still got a few drivers in the race. I say a few, 16. It's looking very good for coming to get you in the Force India. No, not in the Force India, sorry. He's in the Haas. Nearly gave Force India a little scare there, losing one of their drivers. Lord JB is in second position. CBO Land making a great drive. He's currently in third position. And he is closing in on Lord JB, 10th at a time, but he's closing in, which is very important. Techno Filler is in fourth position. And we've got S. Graham coming in to turn one, is in the Mercedes, currently fifth. His teammate behind him, Chopper, is sixth. TJ Honest is seventh. Blood and Sand in the Ferrari, eighth. Ninth, Jade Rios. And Gaming Things is 10th in the sister Ferrari to Blood and Sand.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
So, how many drivers will lose it into Eau Rouge? What do you think? Let's make a bet.
I think another 2 more drivers. How about you?
I would say 1.
Bit conservative
1.
there for you, Peter.
Yeah. I just want to make sure I win.
We've got a new feature, so we've got top 3 will be asked to join us in the chat party after the race to answer a few questions. So it should be a good little insight into the driver's thoughts, especially straight after a race. So that's something to look forward to, which is quite interesting. We will go on board with CBO Land as he tries to chase down Lord JB. So he's 4 seconds behind Lord JB. Well, 4 now. So he's got a drive on his hand. Let's see who's going to be the first driver to...
The championship leader!
Oh, he's crashed out. There we go. That is it. That is a bad day at the office for him. The Haas driver is going to be furious. Absolutely furious for that mistake. An unusual mistake for him as all the cars are going past him. That is a very, very bad hit to take, and coming to get you his teammate. 2 minutes 2 seconds. Great lap time. That will be very disappointing for the Haas driver.
So, 1, 2, 3. Championship leader or championship top 5er out of the Grand Prix.
It is
Lino
crazy.
is in the race, but he's 11th. He had a contact with Gamey Things, so he's not even in the points at the moment. And then we have Chopper in 5th place, and maybe the biggest winner of it is coming to get you.
Yeah, he is going to reap the rewards for a brilliant drive so far. We've got Jade Rios in the pit. Smelly Badger, they will be pitting for presumably Inters, since the track conditions are showing that Inters are the right tyre. So you've got Techno Thriller, he's out of the race, championship leader. Humbug, second in the championship, he's out of the race. Lee now not in any... Well, he's in 9th position, but once pit stops are sorted out, he got a tough race on his hand to get a decent points finish. Chopper is in 4th in the tables, 5th in the race, so good some points for him. And Fletcher Boy 4th in the Drivers' Championship, won't be scoring any points. And it's been a shame because Fletcher Boy is one of them drivers you expect more from him because of the skill level that he has, and his races are just... He's got some bad luck this season.
Yeah, you're definitely right. I think it's a mix of bad luck and unfortunate things and a few driver mistakes as well.
Yeah, definitely bad luck driver errors, and especially when I think it was it Austria where he had a fly-in Techno Thriller take him out of the race. That was very unlucky.
Yeah, so yeah, that was unlucky. That was a lag bubble or some kind of like that. So, but then he lost it in Silverstone, in Maggots Chapel, all by himself from the lead.
CBO Land has caught up Lord JB, so he looks like he could be on for a little attempt, maybe in a couple laps' time, on the second position. How do you see that battle going? We've not really seen Lord JB battle in our league yet, so it should be interesting.
Yeah, he had quite a chilly time so far, I think, but his skills are pretty good. So I think he'll defend CBO Land pretty goodly. And remember to add 3 more seconds to CBO Land's time, because he has a 3-second time penalty for himself.
So Gamey Things is pitting in the Ferrari. Lee now in the Williams, gets past him. Do you see any of the top 3 pitting anytime soon?
Yeah, at lap 11. That would be the perfect strategy, I think. Lap 11 and then go another 11 laps on the Inters.
Yeah, because that's true, because the drivers that are pitted already will not, well, possibly not get anywhere close to doing a one-stop. Gamey Things in the Ferrari. He's just pitted as well, and maybe cold tyres on a wet track. And that's cost him. He's out of the race.
And guess where? Eau Rouge.
Oh, Eau Rouge, there we go. So you're currently winning our little bet, Peter. Yes. I need one more driver to do it. So yes. That's promoted a few drivers there. So we've got Snipe's Sake is in 10th position, last of the point scorers currently, but still a long way to go in the race. Chopper and S. Graham. It's got TJ Honest trying to attack him. TJ Honest is right on the back of Chopper. Should be a good little battle. CBO Landers pitting from 3rd position. He's going to get some fresh rubber on lap 9, so it could be a tough ask, as TJ Honest is right on the back of Chopper, and the Mercedes are going into the bus stop chicane. Both drivers carrying on.
Yeah, and this is going to be a very good battle up Eau Rouge, and I think the dirty hair might very well affect TJ Honest, and he can end up being in the barrier. Yeah,
totally agree, because as you know, the way downforce works in real F1 is copied into this game. So following a car, your front downforce just is non-existent. It's so hard to keep following a car and then try to make a move, as Eau Rouge is passed successfully by these guys. CBO Land pitted in 3rd position, kept 3rd position, which is testament to him choosing the right spot to take that pit. TJ Honest is still behind Chopper though. Another frustrating lap to follow, I expect.
Yeah, CBO Land is doing a masterful job in P3, I believe.
I believe if conditions stay as they are and CBO Land can just maybe slow down attacking the track as he is, he should be able to extend the tyre life by a couple of laps, which will then make it a one-stop race for him and a podium finish.
Yeah, but he needs to push now, because he has made the undercut, so he's trying to get in front of Lord JB. And if Lord JB is not reacting to that, then CB Holland can definitely make the undercut work.
So we've got Lord JB on our broadcast camera at the moment, and we will just see if he is going to pit. If he pits, he's reacting to CBO land. If he doesn't pit, I can assume that he doesn't see CBO land.
Would you go to the pit?
I would pit, yes. You have to react.
Okay,
he doesn't
Lord
pit.
JB.
He carries on.
Lord JB isn't pitting. I think he wants to go for like lap 11.
Yeah, yeah, I think you're right there, trying to get the tyres 50% of the way through the race, and it could be a tough ask as well, because the inters do drop off quite a lot in weather like this. Blood and Sand getting a 5-second stop-go penalty for a corner cutting. That will hurt him, currently in 6th position. He will probably lose a couple of positions. So Chopper is pitting in the Mercedes, and he's going on to a fresh set of inters, as Blood and Sand also pits, which will be for a fresh set of inters as well. So Lord JB is 13 seconds behind, coming to get you in the Haas with his Haas teammate Techno Thriller crashing out, who is also a championship leader. So that will... It shouldn't be too bad for Techno Thriller, since Humbug has also crashed out, so he should still be leading the championships, unless Lee now has a cracking drive. So Chopper coming out the pits now, and Blood and Sand will be following both out the pit exit to start the rest of the race. Lap 10 out of 22. We've got coming to get you in first place Lord JB, second. CBO Land is in third. TJ on is fourth. S Graham is fifth. Lee now sixth. Chopper seventh. Blood Sad eighth. 9th. Smelly Badger Decadent is in 10th. For Snipe's sake 11th. Didasx 12th. Guys, it's Mudkip 13th. Jade Rios has left the session. So what we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars that will not finish this race. It's been a tough race with a dry qualifying with a lot of rain in the race. Eau Rouge has taken a few victims as well, so it's living up to its name as being one of the toughest corners on the F1 calendar.
And that's what I was talking about. CB Holland has gained 1.2 seconds on Lord JB, and he's still gaining. So,
and Lord JB is still continuing on. He has a slide coming out of the bus stop chicane. He must be absolutely praying that he can get around this next lap, so his tyres can last to get that pit stop coming to get you going through Eau Rouge at the moment. He is on the pace, and he's doing a cracking job coming to get you his second race.
You know what? I think they're trying to go for a non-stop.
That could be quite interesting and possible as well. Do you think that it's possible to keep your tyres just not stopping at all? Because in a dry race, the track deck is quite hard. As we've got Chopper, he's out, and he's lost his tyre as well. There we go, front left off. Chopper of the Mercedes, he's out of the race. He will be number 8 that does not finish the race. So Smelly Badger will be promoted up to 8th. Decadent will be promoted to 9th. Yeah, it looks like the track's a little bit greasy as well, which will be extremely hard to try and react to as well as a driver.
Yeah. So back to the tire wear. I think you can do it, because today I did 22 laps. In my league race on one set of tires, so that's definitely doable.
There you go, so it seems possible. So we will go on board with coming to get you. He's coming to the end of lap 11. This will be the deciding moment. If he pits now, he's got a great shot with fresh rubber to maybe extend his lead. If he doesn't pit now, he's going for no stops, he's pitting. There we go. So let's see what Lord JB does. There's a 14.5 second gap between.
Into the pits. So I think Lord JB will follow him through.
And Lord JB coming into the bus stop chicane. What's he going to do? He does exact follow him through. So we will stay on board with the McLaren Honda of CBO Land. If you'd like to talk us through this, Peter.
Yes, let's see. As he runs wide into Blanchimont, but I think this will be pretty close. Pretty close. He's coming out of the final corner and going into the first one. Where is Lord JB? Lord JB is coming down the pit straight, so that's there you go. CBO Land is in 2v2.
So Lord JB there may be waiting a lap too long to change his tyres there. CBO Land will be on full attack now, trying to coming to get you on the fresh rubber. CBO Land, it's been out on 2 laps now on these tyres.
As Graham is up into P5.
Or he's side by side with TJ Arnis. TJ Arnis coming out of the pits, so TJ Arnis does fall back. There's 0.2 of a second in. He will try and follow up Eau Rouge. Tricky conditions to do that. Let's see. He does it successfully. They're both going down the Kemmel Straight, no DRS because of the wet weather.
But he can get him. He can definitely get him.
Here we go, he's picking up a great toe there for the Mercedes. The Toro Rosso having a little look, but not committing there. The Mercedes driving, nice bit of defensive driving from himself. He should be doing great. Decadent is in the pits for the 3rd time in the race. Another driver suffering with the tricky conditions. So CBO Land is dropping Lord JB by a few seconds now. Still not a bad job by Lord JB. He's got to hold off S. Graham, which seems possible, but with the conditions as they are, it could be very tricky.
Yeah, now the most important thing for Lord JB is to not let CBOLN get out of that 3-second time zone, because CBOLN has a 3-second time penalty, and I think Lord JB hasn't. So that would be the most important thing for him at the moment.
That is true. So we've got TJ Arnis and S. Graham right by each other. So it's 0.3 of a second between 4th and 5th. TJ Arnis will be following. Hopefully not for another lap. CBO then sets the fastest lap. 2 minute 1 second 0.8 is brilliant pace. It may be shown coming to get you. I'm not out of this race yet. As we're going up to the run up to the bus stop chicane, Mercedes driver's got his wing mirrors all full of the Toro Rosso. Toro Rosso takes a little dive. Coming out the bus stop chicane here, side by side. Toro Rosso going a little bit wide there. Let's see what they can do going into turn 1 as they start at lap 13. Mercedes driver will have to do a lot of thinking now.
Yeah, that was a big dive. A bit forceful, but
I can see that being given to the stewards. That was too forceful in my opinion.
We'll see what the stewards will say.
So S. Graham shouldn't be too downhearted. He's got to continue because you never know what can happen. All results are provisional after this race until stewards do an amazing job and check everyone's footage who requests that to be seen. So S. Graham's still got a lot to do. Giannis has got quite a lot of pace about him. Is he too far back though to Lord JB? He could be, but it depends. A lot of cars, a lot of drivers that should have been leading this race or challenged for them to win are out of this race. So it just shows you Spa is giving a lot of excitement to the viewers, and the drivers should be very wary, especially going around Eau Rouge.
So yeah, we got TJ Arnis in P4, and I think he has as he runs wide, but he has a very good chance to get into the top 5. I will just check how far he is from the top 5.
Oh, look at that lap time! A 2 minute 0.9 for coming to get you.
He's showing off.
I think he's trying to react to CBO Land. Remember CBO Land getting the fastest lap previous lap, so coming to get you saying, you know what, I'm controlling my race, you're pushing.
CBO Land has done a 2 minute 2, so he lost about 2 seconds there.
So we were speaking earlier, had a few problems with the stream, wouldn't be us without them, but we've got the Classic mini-series starting tomorrow, and I know you're a part of it. You're racing tomorrow. It's around Monaco, 25% race. Thoughts on that, Peter?
I think we will go with the 88 McLarens.
Yeah, that's correct.
The MP4-/4. I believe that's the model. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I haven't had a classic car race in a while, with online drivers, so with real drivers, so it will be fun. And I believe there are still some places remaining, So if you want, just check us and you can race against us.
That's it, you can race against the guys you're seeing on screen at the moment. Race against Peter as well, who you're listening to, a great driver, very fast, so it should be an interesting race tomorrow. www.facebook.com/Speedforce Racing PS4 to get involved with the guys and girls that you see racing with us. Smelly Badger's in the pits, had trouble getting into the pit. A little tap of the wall on entry, which is a very tight pit lane as well, because we don't have pit assist, so it's all up to the driver. Do you see this as being one of maybe the hardest pit entry and exits of the calendar?
Yes, along with Singapore, the exit is pretty tight around Singapore.
Also Monaco is ridiculous.
Yeah, Monaco. Yeah, and this time Codemasters gave us the handle of the car before the turn, so if you're not very careful, then you can run into the outside wall, or inside wall, I should say.
Exactly.
So if you don't mind, I think we might be able to talk about Season 2.
Yeah, a great conversation to start with. We've just got Blood and Sand and Ferraris chasing S. Graham. They're going out the bus stop chicane. 8 tenths of a second in between them. Maybe down the Kemmel Straight he might get a little option. So Season 2 for our League R. This current season is mixed. We've got drivers with non-assist and assist racing. But our season finishes 7th of March, and we're looking at beginning of April. We will have an assist league and a non-assist league starting, so 2 divisions, and should bring a lot of interest. And I know, Peter, you're going to be racing on the Thursday race, which will be the non-assists. Are you looking forward to getting back into racing in Speedforce?
Yes, I'm really looking forward to get back into racing with the modern cars. So I think a non-assist league is important to have for a league, because you can separate drivers and they can have more fun. I believe that's just me.
Yeah, so, I agree. It kind of levels the field out. You know, your competition has got no assist like yourself, so it's down to
and
pure driver skill.
And it's equal. So, I mean, if you race against assist drivers in a wet race, for example, then if you don't use any assist, then you will have a disadvantage over them, because you can't handle the car as much as they can with traction control and things like that, and ABS.
Yeah, I do agree with you. It should spice things up. If you go to the Facebook page, looking about end of February, there will be a post for drivers to sign up for both, whatever league they want, the non-assist or the assist, and final positions will be confirmed middle of March. For an exciting prospect, as we've got S. Graham pitting, allowing Blood and Sand to go into 5th place, ride on board with the Force India of Lord JB. So yes, a lot of exciting things to come from Speedforce Racing. This is our first season, not been going long, about 4 months now I think we've been active. We have a good team behind us. Well, in my opinion, our admin are brilliant. We're doing things that maybe other leagues won't. We will push boundaries. We will try and make the action more exciting to everyone. So stick with us. Give us a like on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's so many ways to communicate with us. Contact us. You contact us, we'll contact you back, and we'll get something excited. It could be the road to an exciting online little adventure with us. You know, join the Speedforce.
Yes, definitely. It's pretty amazing to have guys like you and guys like in the league. It's pretty good community. You can talk with everyone. So yeah, I really like it. So but that's just me, and I hope you will like it if you contact us.
Exactly, yeah. Give us a chance and you will not be disappointed. So we will go through a rundown of the race coming to get you. He is going to be passing some traffic at the moment, so he is 18 seconds in front of CBO Land. in second position. The driver currently reserve at the moment. McLaren Honda doing a decent job. Got Lord JB is in third position, 3.2 seconds behind CBO Land, but trying to catch him. TJ Honest is in fourth position. Blood and Sand fifth. Lee now sixth. S Graham seventh. Smelly Badger ninth. Decadent Smelly Badger eighth. Decadent ninth. Snipesake 10th. So, last stages of the race. Do you expect Lord JB to challenge? JB. Oh, he's got a 3-second time penalty, so that levels him out with CBO Land. Now he has to go and attack.
CBO Land has another one.
Oh, there we go. So that's quite interesting. So let's see if Lord JB can try and keep it clean, try and keep it on the track, not extending his track limits, because that will warrant him getting another penalty from the stewards. So he can see CBO Land. He's got that little bit of hope. During a race, is it always important to see the person in front of you on track? Does it just give you that extra fire in your belly if you couldn't see him?
Yeah, it can give you mental toughness, or how should I say? So,
like a mental boost.
Yes, a mental boost, which can move you forward to the race, and you will be faster because you can see him. Oh, I can catch him! I can catch him! Come on, come on! So that's what I was thinking. That's what I would think.
Yeah, I agree with you. I used to have that as well when I race. It gives you a bit of more belief that you can catch him, even if you catch him by a tenth of a second per lap. You're catching him, and it just fills you with that more enthusiasm that you can just get a bit more out of the race.
Yeah, you can put them under pressure.
Exactly. So with the field's quite spread out at the moment.
Yes, I think guys at Mudkip might get labbed by the end of the race. No, he's far away. Spa is a long track, but but yeah, it's a very spread out field. And another thing to talk about is driver of the day.
Oh yes, that's going to be an interesting discussion.
Who would you give that award to? I mean, you have Coming to Get Ya, who probably take the lead and the win. But then there's CBO Land, who has done an amazing job so far. Then Lord JB with a good qualifying and a good race now. TJ Honest, back in form. And I wanted to say Blood and Sand, but he's just coming into the pits, so that might be his chance gone for driver of the day.
God, the top three are all equal or all equally worthy of driver of the day, but I'm torn between Lord JB and CBO Land. I'd probably go with CBO Land. Great drive from him.
Yes, I believe he's a reserve.
He is a reserve, yes.
Correct? Yes, so he's a reserve and he's doing pretty well.
How about you? Who'd you go with driver of the day?
Yeah, probably CBO Land for me as well. And then looking forward to next week, Monza, a pretty high-speed track, without a doubt the fastest track by race time. An
amazing racetrack, a great example of a track that has aged well with time and still yes, pretty important to current F1. Where you got Monaco, which is so tight now with the width of the cars. Currently, Monaco looks a little bit more out of place with the current generation of Formula 1 cars, in my opinion. But Monza is just a timeless great.
Yes, and Suzuka as well, I believe. And Spa, of course, for me. I really like Spa.
Yeah, Spa is a fantastic track.
These tracks are all different, can give you all different challenges. I mean, I believe Monza is just about how quick you can get through those few corners.
Yeah, that's it. It's a corner dependent track. That's where you're going to gain or lose your time in the corners, because every car will be going for a very low aero setup. It's just the nature of the beast. So you get some teams in the real F1, like especially Red Bull, will go for the skinniest wing they can just for Monza. They make a special wing just for it because of the nature of the track.
Yeah, unless you're Honda, you have a great chance of scoring some points.
Honda need a miracle. They need an engine, maybe a couple of the lawnmower engines as well, just to get
Yes.
a little bit closer up the field.
They are getting closer, but they're still far, far away.
Yeah, it's them getting closer. It's like me saying I'm getting closer to becoming an F1 driver. It ain't gonna happen.
And even it's not just about Formula One. If you guys and if you Adam watch WTCC, or which is now called WTCR or something like that, or MotoGP, the Honda powered cars are a little bit slower in the straights. So it's not just about Formula One. They are, I don't know what's happened to them or what went wrong, but they're just a bit off the pace, I believe.
Yeah, I think they need a good season next season with Toro Rosso to show everyone that they are back in the game. But it's going to be an interesting for McLaren to be with Renault. That is a great move. I can see maybe Mercedes being in the mixed top 8 cars next season, maybe on most of the tracks.
Yeah, and then you have that secret guy from FIA who has a contract with Renault, who knows everything about everything.
Yeah,
basically. So he's been suspended actually for until like March or something like that. So he cannot talk to guys at Renault, or I don't know, definitely or certainly what is the suspension is about, but I think it's something like that.
it's going to be a tough season next season, especially with a free engine rule. I think it's just gonna kind of cancel out what F1's about. F1 should be about the fastest drivers driving the cars as fast as possible without coasting, without trying to save fuel, without trying to save engine parts. It should be flat out fun. It's the premier motorsport. Should be showing it is.
Yeah, you're definitely right. I agree with you, because 3 engines for 20 races or 21, I don't know.
21 this season.
21. So 7 races per engine.
See, that's it. There's 7 races, and it's also 21 practice sessions as well per engine as well. Qualifying as well. It's an immense rule that will probably destroy Formula One. They're already moaning about the grid penalties for extra parts. How is this going to improve the spectacle?
I don't know, really. So basically you have Honda, which is pretty bad on reliability. So I can see them have a grid penalty even for Australia for too much engines used.
Yeah, that is a possibility with Honda. So back to the action. We're on lap 21 at 22. Coming to Get You has just controlled his race. What we'll do, while we've got a couple of laps to go, if Peter would you like to maybe write some questions down to ask the podium drivers, because being an intense racer yourself, you should have more of an insight into what these guys are feeling at the moment, especially coming to get you onto his second win of the season, second race of the season as well. So he's got great skill behind the wheel, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. He's a very talented guy.
So we are coming in to the closing stages of round 12 for Speed Force Racing. Thank you for joining us tonight. We hope you're enjoying what you're seeing. Pretty exciting race. Look, rain looks like it's easing up a little bit, but we've had rain throughout the race. Not the best, but it's been a bit exciting. Peter's on his way to winning a bet with only one further car in Eau Rouge, but I still have a lap to go. You never know what can happen. So, coming to Get You in the Haas is coming up to start his last lap. We will keep the camera firmly on him as he comes into the bus stop chicane. I will hand over to Peter to go around the whole lap with Coming to Get You.
Yeah, so he goes into the first corner, locks up a tiny bit, but It's pretty much okay. So yeah, he basically handled the whole race. So after Fletcher, Humbug, and Techno lost it, basically at the beginning, he had no challenge. So that's just a walk in the park, really, for him, I believe. But he deserves it, definitely.
I agree, yes, definitely.
So he's going through Lake Home and into the corner, which I don't know how they call it. But I think it doesn't matter too much. And yeah, you can see him. He's running in lean mix throughout the middle sector, and he shifts up pretty early to avoid traction loss or anything like that.
So that shows that he's got a very great mind, a great mind for racing. If he's doing this to try and counteract wheel spin and try and give himself the best traction out of each corner.
Yeah, he's a very good driver.
Yeah, definitely.
I raced against him once, I believe.
How did that go?
We hadn't had an on-track battle, but we raced in the same league, so...
Blood and Sand getting a 3-second time penalty. So we've got coming to get you. He's coming up to chicane for the very, very last time on the very last lap. Here we go.
Beautiful job.
There we go. Second race for Speed Force Racing, and his second win. Here we go. He's going to cross the line. Brilliant job. That gives him 50 points in the championship. Up to date. What a drive from coming to get you. CBO Land, reserved for McLaren Honda. He is coming up to the bus stop chicane as well. One pit stop for him. A great drive as well, because he had lost a few positions at the start. He gets a 5-second stop go penalty. That's going to cost him. Lord JB is 5.6 seconds behind him. What is going to happen? Let's see if Lord JB will cross the line within a decent amount of time. Will he get second position?
No.
Lord JB must have had extra penalties.
Yes.
CBO Land living a very, very dangerous life there, but great job by him, and I would award him driver of the day if Peter is in agreement.
Yes, definitely driver of the day. He deserves it.
For Snipe's sake, getting a point in 10th position, lap down, but great point for him. He will be happy with that. On board with TJ Honest in the Toro Rosso, coming across the line for 4th position. Great drive from him in tricky conditions. So we will go on board with Lee now, 5th position. Great job for the Williams. A little bit disappointed that Fletcher Boy crashing out early in that, but Lee now 5th position will not be sniffed at. Great points there from the driver. The Ferrari of Blood and Sand coming into the bus stop chicane now. He's in 6th position. Great drive for him. And also, a little bit crazy on the exit there. Tyres must be completely shot. S. Graham coming up to follow him to get 7th position. Decadent, great drive from him. He had quite a few pit stops as well. He will be coming to cross the line in 8th position.
And that will give Lee now 2nd place in the driver's standings with 136 points. So
that's a 3 points over Humbug. That will be interesting going into Monza.
And Techno has 161. Coming to get you will have 50. So 161 against 50, and we have 200 available points still. So I can see him
a lot to play for. Yeah, he's got such a great chance coming in halfway through the season. What a race though! Coming to get you, he's doing an amazing job. Absolutely fantastic. 2 races, 2 wins, both in different conditions as well. So it just shows you the driver has got a ton of skill behind him. CBO Land getting 2nd position, and Lord JB, brilliant drive for him. A podium. And me and him were talking before, and he wanted a podium, and he got it. I'm so made up for him. That will be a brilliant thing for him today. So, coming to get you 1st, 2nd, CBO Land, 3rd, Lord JB. 4th, TJ Honestly now, 5th, 6th, Blood and Sand, 7th, S. Graham, 8th, Decadent, 9th, Smelly Badger, 10th, Snipe's Sake, 11th, Did SX. Guys, it's Mudkip is in 12th, so only 12 finishes from the race, but a tricky race, and most drivers did exceptionally well. A lot of drivers will be disappointed, especially Humbug, Techno Thriller and Fletcher Boy. Disappointing race for them. Always next week though.
Yes.
Alright, I will invite the drivers in, so the screen will go blue, I think it is. Let's invite these guys in. Trying to do this as quick as possible. So, quite an interesting season, especially with the drivers that we've got. It's going really well. What have I done? Sorry, I am having difficulties because my brain is shrinking by the second. Coming to get you. So coming to get you, he must be very, very happy with his drive. I would be. 2 races, 2 wins. That is fantastic. Welcome Lord JB, which is Jack. Just make sure your mics are set to share. Just wait for the other drivers.
I'm set to share, so that's good to go.
We've got coming to get you. Brilliant drive by him. Did you get second or third, Jack?
I got third. I think I should have had second because he had a 16-second penalty, but I was put third because I got a 3-second penalty. So, but I was within 16 seconds of him, so I think I should have got second. Yeah, you were. You were like.
CBO Land can't join us. His mic is broken. So, if we start with our pole position sitter and race winner coming to get you, Dave. How was your race?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad, thank you. A bit disappointed to be fair, because I was looking forward to racing Fletcher Boy, but God knows what happened in turn 1, but 2 red arrows just woof past me, and I was lucky not to be caught up in the mass if there was anything going on. So, but other than that, to be fair, it was pretty much plain sailing and trying to get bigger and bolder and braver through the corners as the race went on, and Eau Rouge was one hell of a challenge, taking flat out. Took me 5 laps to get brave enough, but yeah, it was a cracking little race. Hope you enjoyed the show.
Yeah, we did. It was brilliant. Was your race about just controlling your race to try and keep your tyres in order and not make any mistakes?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know how often you guys were on board with me, but when we were coming up Camel Straight, I was always veering to the right to keep them as cool as possible. Just intelligent drive, really. Keep the tyres intact, stay out of trouble, and have some fun. But my race changed, as I said, when Fletcher Boy, or whatever happened in turn 1, changed my principles, and it was just a case of, as you said, manage it and keep the gap to Lord JB at the time and visit Seabo Land 99. So it's just monitor the gap and make sure they didn't close in on me, which thankfully they didn't.
So you've had 2 races with Speed Force Racing, you got 2 wins. It gives you 50 points. That will be 6th position in the Drivers' Championship, 4th behind Fletcher Boy. Can you mount a challenge now for the Drivers' title?
What's the gap?
Right, so Techno Thriller's on 161 points, and he crashed out of the race. Humbug's on 133. He crashed out. Lee now would be on 136 points. So it's quite close, but with main championship leaders crashing out of the race, that gives you some hope that you can mount a challenge.
Oh, if they keep doing that for me, mate, it'd be a walk in the park. But no, it's a long shot. But I'm here to put your front runners under pressure and see what they're made of, and hopefully, Monza next, we'll be able to have the top dogs of the league going head to head with myself and a few others in here. So that's the plan. If it comes together or not, we'll have to see by Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, exactly that. We'll move on to Lord JB, because I think CBO Land's mic's not working. So, Jack, great qualifying by getting third position, that was amazing.
Yeah, I was surprised by it.
What did you do on your quali lap to get so high up the grid? Because usually quali's not really your strongest point. Your race pace is on point. So was you surprised by getting third position in quali?
Well, what happened was, you know, the left-hander out of just after the long right-hander in sector 2. On my first run, I actually crashed. I lost my front end. So I had to go into the pits, and it was literally a one-shot for me. So I plugged on new tyres, put more fuel in, and I just went for it, and I knew I was quick. But I didn't know I was that quick.
So that's got to give you hope for the rest of the season as well, after a drive like that.
I mean, yeah, I did cock up turn 1, and I think I might have pushed Fletch wide. I'm not too sure. But, yeah, I did get a warning saying that I hit Fletcher, but I don't know exactly what happened. I'd need to see it from Fletcher's point of view, but if I did, sorry.
So, what was your race about? Was you ever in the frame of mind where you could have maybe challenged coming to get you? And also, what about CBO Land, who was chasing you through the race and then eventually passed you? What was you racing them, or was it just about trying to get the best position for you?
Originally, it was about going for the win, and I thought, crap, Dave's a bit slow because I was catching him originally, but then he got quick, and he's ridiculously fast, aren't you, Tove? So I let him go, and the idea was just to focus on second place. But on my first pit stop, and the idea was to follow Dave through everything he did. On my first pit stop, I knew I was going to get close to CBO Land. I broke my front wing on the way out of the pits. That's why I was slower. Only a little bit of damage, but I was slower than I was. Otherwise, I would have got second on track. But I think, yeah, it was just race as hard as I can.
Okay, just read a quick statement out from CBO Land, Mike Broken. So, said it was good to start in 9th with the carnage at the start, had a clean start and was trying to get past Lord JB, and fortunately undercut him, and I managed to get the gap from there. So, interesting thoughts from there. Peter, would you like to ask Jack or Dave any questions?
Yeah, you guys were amazing in qualifying. This question is to Dave. What is so special about Spa, and to put together a very good lap around Spa?
A Rouge is special about Spa. I mean, the change, you're going down into it and you're flying up out of it, and if you don't get your balance right, you could end up kissing the barrier on the way out. So that's what I'd say is special about Spa. Hooking up a lap, if you just got to be smooth, you've got to be super quick and consistent, but you've got to be smooth, because although it's a fast track, it's very challenging, and carrying 1 or 2 mile an hour less into a corner can cost you 2 or 3 tenths on the way out. So yeah, be consistent, hit your apexes, hit your braking points, and that's the best way to hook up a lap from my point of view. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I agree with you. And what about you, Jack? Yeah, I agree. It's a Rouge is the killer. If you turn too much or turn too little through a Rouge, you're going to lose a lot of time with these cars. But again, down the back straight, well, straight-ish, as straight as it can be at Spa, coming into the bus stop chicane, that's also where you can lose a lot of time. If you just turn a little bit too much or a little bit too less, one wheel off, hit the curb too hard, you'll lose a little bit more time than you want. But it's a good track, and it's but there is the first and last parts of the track where you can lose the most time. Okay, thank you guys.
Okay, thank you guys for joining us. You're free to leave, and Dave, brilliant job on the race win. CBO Land on second position, and a great job for you, Jack, with third position. Thank you guys.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
And I hope you enjoyed the show, and I'll see you guys next week.
Oh, it was brilliant, thank you. So, an interesting conversation there, especially finding the faults of the drivers. Brilliant race, especially with the rain adding a bit of drama. Tomorrow, guys, 8:15 invites will go out for the Classic Mini Series, which will be at Monaco. So, nice track to get everyone started, ease them in. Join us. We've got a few spots left. www.facebook.com/SpeedForceRacingPS4. Give us a message. We'll get back to you straight away. Peter, I'd like to thank you for joining me tonight. Always a pleasure doing commentary with you. Great team we make. Thank you for tonight.
Yeah.
Any thoughts?
Thank you for having me. It was a very good race and an entertaining race, I believe. And yeah, it shaped up. It turned out to be a little bit dramatic race as well, because 3 of the championship leaders has fallen out of the Grand Prix at the early stages, so they crashed out. So
yeah,
it was
a race that's quite
surprising.
possibly could go to altering the championship standings come nearer the end of the season.
Yes, I think if Techno loses it, this will be the race which we would have to look at.
I got you. This will be the race. If he loses the Drivers' Championship come the end of the season, this will be the race that defined his season, I think.
Yes, but we are still very much far away from Abu Dhabi, so we'll see what happens next time.
Brilliant. Okay, so guys, we will be live streaming the Classic Mini Series starting tomorrow. Runs for 5 weeks on a Thursday. Join us about 8:25 p.m. GMT for the live stream for that. We are back next week for round 13. Unlucky for some, but I think Jack's lucky number is 13, so should have a good race at Monza. So next week we are at Monza for the Modern Series. Join us tomorrow for the Classic Mini Series. www.facebook.com/SpeedForceRacingPS4, where you'll find all the information you need about our page, coming races, available seats. I've been Adam, joined by Peter. Good night, and we will catch you tomorrow.
Good night.